Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1, where I've just realised my lights aren't on, everyone. Here we go. This is the professionalism you sign up for when you watch a Stop and Go F1 video. Now the lights are on. Welcome to our reaction to qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. A qualifying session where some of the names are the same as the ones we saw at the head of sprint qualifying, but the times and the gaps are very different. We'll get into all of that and more as we get in through this video. But we have to say, firstly, make sure you like and subscribe, of course. And a big thank you to our members who are at AI Racing World Champion and above. They are Dakota and the Joyous James. If you want to join in with that, there is a link in the description. Membership starting from 99p at the Euro Marshall tier. If you want the shoutouts in the videos, it is from AI Racing or above. I think it's only like £2.99 or something like that. There you go. So let's get into qualifying then, starting with Q1. And of course, the little added bonus of this new setup for sprint race weekends is that if the driver is unhappy with their car after the sprint race, they can make big setup changes to go into qualifying for the main race and hopefully improve. Someone who did that was Yuki Tsunoda, had a massive setup change and nearly actually didn't make it out in time for the start of Q1 because they were still working on his car. There are a few people who have made setup changes. I wish there was like a kind of a list of people that F1 published of these are the guys who have changed. But the ones who are obvious, I think, are Ferrari. They definitely had a lot more speed so far today than they did yesterday. And both of the racing bills, Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo, definitely having setup changes, making the car look a lot quicker today than it was yesterday. Hamilton seemed to be struggling a lot throughout qualifying today. In Q1, didn't have a very quick lap time, and also looked like there was some smoke coming out the back of his car. Initially, I thought it was an engine issue, but it could have been like brakes or rear tyres or something like that. But smoke was definitely coming out of the car. Didn't seem to be too much of a concern for them. They figured out pretty quickly. Yuki Tsunoda was the first to have a lap time deleted in this session. He dropped it down to 15th towards the end, so a lot of pressure on Yuki to deliver there. But as we close Q1, it is Zhou yet again in 20th place, Logan Sargent in 19th, Valtteri Bottas 18th. No real surprises with the bottom three there. Then it was Lance Stroll in 17th, his first Q1 exit since the Japanese Grand Prix. So it's been a while for Lance Stroll. Aston really just do not look good at all this weekend. I mean, you could very easily say it, they're the 8th fastest car. I mean, they're faster than the Stake F1 team Kick Sauber, and they're faster than the Williams, and that's it, realistically. Albon finishes in 16th place. Going into Q2, and we see a little bit of a preview here of how much speed Max Verstappen has unlocked in his car. Once again, don't know if he has had a setup change, but he's looked relatively comfortable all weekend. Then in this session here, looks even more comfortable. He set a time that was nearly a second faster than anyone else when he set it. They did close in throughout the session, but yeah, he really got up to speed quickly in Q2. Those out in Q2, Fernando Alonso in 15th place again. Aston not looking good, and this is their second week in a row now of not looking good. And what's quite strange is how calm Fernando Alonso is about this, because we've seen previously, most high profile at McLaren, that when the team and the car is not going well, he is the most vocal person and will be saying it's not going well and will saying how to improve it. And recently, with this whole Aston not going well stuff, he's been like, yep, we know it's bad, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, and he just seems fine with it. And it makes you wonder what kind of things are happening behind the scenes in Aston, which make Fernando Alonso feel so comfortable to be so bad right now. And the only thing I can think of is you've got Lawrence Stroll there going, well, Fernando, we know it's bad, but don't worry, Adrian Newey will come one day and he'll make all our lives a lot easier. I promise you that. So maybe that's what's happened there at Aston Martin. Yuki Tsunoda in 14th. Magnussen was 13th. Gasly 12th. Ricciardo 11th. I expected a little bit better of Gasly. We were talking yesterday about how Alpine had come back to this place where they were the 5th fastest team. They don't have to really push hard to be ninth or 10th. But Hulkenberg really pushing today to push out Gasly, and also Ricciardo beating him as well. A good lap time from Ricciardo. Then going into Q3, starts off strangely for Hamilton. As he leaves the garage, the rear jack is still attached to the car. And he pulls it out of the garage and that crashes to the floor. Very lucky not to have any damage to his car, really, because you'd think that is attached to the car next to the rear floor. The way that twists and falls, that could very easily damage the car. Who knows, it may have done. But I didn't hear any complaints about a damaged floor or any damage at all from him there. When everyone sets their first lap time, here is how it looks. So Hulkenberg was 10th, Ocon 9th, Perez 8th, Sainz 7th, Hamilton 6th, Piastri 5th, Leclerc 4th, Russell 3rd, Norris 2nd, and Max Verstappen in 1st place. Something interesting to notice as well is that both Perez and Ocon had no new soft tyres. Due to how the sprint race weekend goes out, they had used all their soft tyres before Q3. So realistically, they were only ever going to be as high as 8th. Because those top 7 drivers with the cars they have and with fresh tyres, you're never going to beat them realistically. And then once everyone does their second fast lap, the big shock is Charles Leclerc, who's having an awful time of qualifying this weekend. Of course, had the anti-stall yesterday in the pit lane, which meant that he wouldn't be able to cross the line in time to actually set a lap time. But here today is setting his lap, and in the middle of the lap, in turn 6, goes massively wide into the gravel. Then over the last corner, goes massively wide again, goes onto the grass, hits the curb, goes flying up in the air, comes crashing down. He believes he's broken a lot of the floor underneath the car, which will need a lot of work done to it, and also means that he can't set another fast lap time, and is not realistically where he should be. He was expecting that he could finish about 3rd, but no, he finishes down in 6th. Let's talk through the top 10 then. Ocon was 10th, Hulkenberg 9th, Perez is 8th, Oscar Piastri 7th. Now, originally he was 3rd, but got his lap time deleted due to track limits. They show a replay of this, and from the onboard, I don't think he crossed the line. We'd have to see off-board to see what it looks like from there, but I don't think he crossed the line. And if he did, it was just crossing the line. But it's good to see in a way. We talked about it in the preview that they're bringing in this AI stuff, and there's going to be a camera watching the line and all this kind of stuff like that, where, that's obviously working to say, yes, he has crossed the line, and be able to show that so quickly to the point where we finish this qualifying session and we know. This time last year, we probably wouldn't know that has happened for another hour or so. Leclerc is 6th. We've already spoken about what happened to him there. Hamilton was 5th. Sainz in 4th. Russell 3rd. Norris 2nd. Max Verstappen takes pole position for the race tomorrow. But the interesting thing here, I think, to notice is the difference in times. Just to show how good Max Verstappen was here in this qualifying session. So Max has out-qualified Norris here by 0.404 of a second. Norris's lap time yesterday in SQ3 was a 1:04.779. His lap time today was a 1:04.718. So his improvement over 24 hours is about 0.06 of a second. Whereas if you look at Max, his lap time yesterday, 0.4.686 compared to today of a 0.4.314. Max able to find around about 0.3 of a second worth of speed. Well, actually, probably, more than 0.3 of a second worth of speed in the matter of 24 hours, where others can only improve by less than a tenth. Max really just kind of finding this car throughout the weekend. Every time he's got in the car this weekend, he's gotten faster, and that is very impressive, considering I still don't think the Red Bull is the fastest car on track here, shown by Sergio Perez. And maybe people will say, well, Sergio's there to be slow, so Max looks good. And it's like, no, that's not why Sergio's there. Sergio obviously is not doing great at the minute, but the difference in time between the two of them, I mean, the gap to Sergio Perez today, I know he was on old tyres, was 8 seconds of a second. It was nearly 9. It was closer to 9 than it was 8. Max did incredibly well here today, and that's not taking anything away from anyone else. It's just saying that Max did do a fantastic job, and he'll be looking to repeat that again tomorrow in the main race. We'll be here, of course, to talk all things Austrian Grand Prix tomorrow. We'll also have coverage of the F2 and the F3, and driver ratings will be out on Monday as well. So make sure you subscribe for all of that. Let me know what you thought of this here qualifying session. Let me know what the hell is going on at Aston. That's the big question I think I have on my mind as of right now. And I will see you tomorrow. See you then. Have a good one.